Hello. So I've had a long break, but I'm back. So for today, we're going to be talking about cat litter, and this is one of the requests that actually I got from some of my subscribers to talk about my recommendations for cat litter. So for today, I made my research, and I'm going to be discussing today three types of cat litter. Why do cats need cat litter? And also a bit of recommendations about litter boxes. And then later on, we'll be looking at 45 products, cat litter products that we're going to be choosing from. And so we're going to have a packed episode today. So this is SirNicolay, and we're going to learn something new today. So, to those of you who have cats and have been taking good care of cats, you probably know that your cats would need cat litter. Okay? If you're a dog person or you've never had a cat before, so just to explain, cat litter is basically a box where your cat would poop or pee. And the thing with the cat litter is that you can choose from a variety of litter. Usually it's sand, but there are other types actually. And then the reason why cats would need cat litter is because it's something that actually connects them to their roots. So when you think about them, the natural instinct actually for cats is that whenever they poop or they pee, they would bury their poop or pee so that they would they would get to hide their tracks from other animals. And it's very interesting because even small kittens, without actually the mother teaching them or the human owner teaching, how to use the litter, little kittens would instinctively try to dig and then try to basically cover the poop or pee whenever after they would want to waste. And so it's very interesting that this behavior is very instinctive for them. Okay, and another thing that's also very interesting is that the reason why you have to provide cat litter for your cats is because it doesn't just actually make them also clean, generally, and have developed very good hygiene. It's also something that could also mark if there's something wrong with them. So the thing about animals actually in general is that they usually live by routine. So if there's something that's different from their routine, usually it's a sign of problem. And you can ask vets or animal experts that, especially the ones who take care of zoos, you know. So zookeepers usually take note of the manure or the poop of their animals. And if there is something different about the poop, so like for example, they did not poop where they're supposed to poop, then that's actually a sign that something is wrong. So therefore, the cat litter, in a very strange way, is a health indicator for your cats. So therefore, choosing the good cat litter would be very beneficial for you as a cat owner because you get to see if your cats are healthy or not. Okay, but of course, when it comes to your cat's pooping or peeing, we don't want to have accidents around the house. And by accident, I mean they just poop out of nowhere in any spot in your house. And that's the reason why you have to invest on very good cat litter and a litter box. Okay. Someone also asked me before, what do I recommend for litter boxes? My recommendation is actually an open litter box instead of an enclosed litter box. And the reason behind that is that the smell could actually stay if you choose an enclosed litter box. Okay, so that's why I always tell people, it might be unsightly when you actually have an open litter box, but in the long run, it's actually better than a covered litter boxes. Okay, so now we go to our actual topic, and that is to talk about the different types of cat litter. Okay, and in essence, there are only three types. There are only three types of cat litter, and this is true for the Philippines. Okay, because if you go to other countries, there are actually more available options, and I'm going to talk a little bit about them. But in the Philippines, there are generally three types of cat litter. Okay, so let's talk about them, and let's look at the pros and cons because there's just so many things that make them different from each other. Okay, so we're now going to be talking first about the most popular type of cat litter that you can buy in the Philippines. Okay, and that is what we call the clumping litter, or some people call it the regular clumping litter. So the regular clumping litter is actually made up of, is actually composed of clay, and they call this clay material bentonite. Okay, I did a bit of research what bentonite is, and bentonite is basically an absorbent material. So they use it not just for cat litter boxes, but in many different types of industries. They actually also use bentonite, and they actually also use it for decolorizing and clarifying liquids. Okay, and cat litter usually is made up of bentonite, especially if you get the clumping type. Okay, so the thing with cat litters is that some types are clumping and some types are non-clumping. Okay. Now, the first type, regular clumping, is basically something that will make your cat, when your cat poops or pees on the, on the litter box. So these sand or a clay, little bits of sand will actually clump together, and that actually makes it very easy for the cat owner to scoop and to get rid of the waste material. Okay, so something that you have to know about the regular clumping type of cat litter is that it is the most popular. It is also the one that is cheapest out of the three types, and there are just so many varieties for it. In fact, in my list, I have 28 products that are actually of clumping type. Okay, so you have so many choices. And to be honest, I am one of the cat owners who actually choose regular clumping litter. So therefore, I can make my recommendations later, especially what brand I use. Okay. So another thing that you have to understand about cat litters, that cat litters also have scented type and unscented type. So you'll be surprised that how come these cat litters have like flavor, like lemon flavor or apple flavor. Actually, those are more of scents. So the smell of apple, the smell of lemon, and generally speaking, the scents would deodorize the smell of the poop or the pee. And that's the reason why scented litters tend to be more expensive. So there are non-scented, cat litter, and non-scented is probably better for some cats who are allergic to some smells, and so that might be the better solution for them to get the unscented type of cat litter. But there lies a problem because if you get an unscented kind of a cat litter, uh, it's not as effective in removing the odor of the poop or the pee, and that's the reason why you might have to buy something else to actually cover the odor, and that's the problem with unscented cat litter. You have to get something else to actually cover the smell. So some people get some kind of like a charcoal product that's meant to cover the smell of a cat litter, unscented cat litter. But for many owners like me, I would rather go for scented because scented cat litters usually would do the job of covering the smell of the poop and the pee. Okay, so for odor control, so number one, regular clumping litter is usually very reliable. So especially the scented one. So that's one big advantage of the regular clumping litter type. Okay, now there's sometimes though there's a problem of the regular clumping litter as to making dust. So, especially those of you who have tried this at home, if you buy like a big pack, like a 10-liter pack of cat litter, and you try to, pour it on the cat litter box, some of you will probably see the dust that will actually, come out of, your pouring of the litter. And for some people, they are actually allergic to that. So that's one of the problems of the regular clumping type of cat litter or the bentonite cat litter. They actually produce some kind of dust. Now, another problem actually also with the regular clumping type of cat litter is that when it comes to litter tracking, so this is something that could be a bit messy when it comes to your cats using them. So what do I mean by litter tracking? Litter tracking means when your cat poops in a regular clumping type of cat litter, the tendency is that when they jump out of the litter box, some of the litter sands would stay on their paws and therefore creating a bit of mess around the floor. And that's something that's a bit annoying for some cat owners that some cats do not actually clean their paws before leaving the litter box. Okay, it depends actually on your cats because I've seen some cats when they use the cat litter box, they would really just dig away and as if they're fighting something or someone. It's pretty normal, okay? And there are some cats who are very meticulous. They're very careful in removing all the cat litter sands before leaving the box. So for this one, it really depends on the cat. Okay, but one good thing about the clumping litter type of cat litter is that it's highly likable by the cats. Like generally, or majority of cats tend to like this better than the other two types that I'll discuss later. So this makes the most popular type of cat litter for cat owners. Okay. And when it comes to cleaning, cat litter also, what is interesting about this is that these are long-lasting, easy to scoop, it saves time also when it comes to the pet owners because it's just very easy to do. You have the shovel for removing the clump, scoop it, finished. Okay? And what is interesting about it is that you can just refill it every now and then. So when you refill it and then can get rid of the used clump cat litter, it's very easy. Okay? Now speaking of getting rid or disposing of the clumps, you will have to be using trash can if you're going to get rid of the clumps of cat litter. That's the only way, because the other types of cat litter can be flushable in the toilet, but regular clumping cat litter, you're not supposed to flush it in the toilet. Okay, if you're guilty of doing it, please stop doing it because it's not very good for the drainage system. If you are flushing clumping cat litter, it's not meant to be flushed. Okay, because the bentonite does not actually dissolve, and so it's not biodegradable. So how do I do it? At home, I actually have so many paper bags, like paper bags that are used for the one that looks like the one that's used for grocery stores but smaller. So I have a lot of those, and every morning and every afternoon, I would scoop poop, here in the house. Okay, from the litter boxes. Okay, and the thing about last fact about the regular clumping type is that it could be harmful to your cats if they ingest the regular clumping bentonite type of litter. So be careful, especially if you have small kittens. So be careful that they won't consume it. So because it could be harmful to their very fragile stomach. Okay. So at this point, I'm going to show on the screen, so this side, the list of so many types of, the list of brands of different types of dry cat litter, okay? The cheapest of them, I found out, and this is actually using so many internet sources. So I used petwarehouse.ph. I also used Lazada, I use Pet Express, and also even on Facebook, online, the ones who would sell different cat products. These are the cheapest rates that I saw. And the cheapest of these is the Neo Clean brand. 10 liters costs only 239 pesos. So that means it's only 23.90 pesos per liter. And the most expensive is the first one. It's Arm& and Hammer Super Scoop, but in 14 pounds, it's 795. I did the computation of it, and that means it's around 93 pesos and 50 centavos per liter. It's the most expensive. It's about almost times 4 of the cheapest brand here. Okay? But it's actually one of the better brands, Arm& and Hammer Super Scoop. Okay, you might be interested what brand I use among all of these. I actually use the Feline Fresh Pink Sand. And from my supplier, it's 350 pesos only per 10 liters of Feline Fresh Pink litter. So that's what I use. So if you want my recommendation, that's what I would recommend. Okay, but of course there are other types of litter. So let's talk about the other two. The second type is actually not as popular, but I've seen very few. Like I literally have seen just one brand that actually has this, and this is the non-clumping type. They call and the material that's used for the non-clumping type is sometimes crystal. Okay, so crystal would mean, by the way, silica or quartz sand, and some could be scented, some could be unscented. But the problem with this crystal type is that it's hit or miss. Sometimes it will be good at containing odor of the poop or the pee, but sometimes not also. It has very low dust tendency, and then it has little to no tracking because sometimes the crystals can be a bit bigger than normal. But here's the problem: not all cats like it, so it's a preferential thing. So if you want to shift from non-clumping to from clumping to non-clumping, the suggestion of people is to mix them. So maybe if you have a brand new non-clumping type and you want to shift to that because for you it's better for the environment, so you cannot start with 75% clumping, then 25% non-clumping, and then you slowly reduce that, through time. Okay. What else? The problem with non-clumping is that it could be a bit tricky to clean because the poop or the pee might actually slip under at the bottom of the of the litter pan, and that makes it annoying for some people. That's the reason why when it comes to cleaning crystal non-clumping type, you would have to change it more often than clay bentonite type. Okay, so they even suggest that once your litter is already 20 days old, you have to get rid of everything, and you have to clean the litter box. Although to be fair, you also do that for using bentonite, but not as disgusting as probably how it would be, because some of the pee and the poop will not actually be absorbed by the crystals, so they stay at the bottom of the pan. It's not as harmful as bentonite, but actually if ingested by your cats could also be dangerous. So there's only one brand that I found in the entire internet that actually is a non-clumping crystal, and that's the Vitacraft Magic Clean. So this is a German brand, and it's 5 liters, 380 pesos. So if we're going to compare that to bentonite, that's 78 pesos per liter. That's double the price of the cheapest bentonite clumping product. Okay? So that's the second type, and that's the non-clumping type of litter. And we move to the last one. The last one is actually semi-popular. There are actually 16 products that I have with me that I was able to research that would fall under this category. So the third category of cat litter are the natural, biodegradable, flushable types of cat litter. So these are made up of so many natural products like tofu or soya, pine pellets, pine wood pellets, sawdust, newspaper, corn grains, and wheat. So these are biodegradable, some are flushable, some are compostable. Okay, so that means when you get rid of them, it's very friendly to the environment. But natural biodegradable flushable types of cat litter can come in scented or unscented, and they have minimal odor control. So some people do not really prefer this because sometimes they don't do a good job in covering the smell. When it comes to dust, there's almost no dust, very minimal. But still, sometimes some materials from these natural products might actually be not good for some cats with allergies. Little to no tracking when it comes to litter, so that means your cats will not make a mess out of the litter box with this. The problem also is that some cats don't like it that much. Okay, and then when it comes to cleaning, it doesn't clump, but it's easy to scoop it. Okay. It has also sometimes a tendency that the cat poop and pee would seep under the bottom of the litter pan. So, but it's better than the non-clumping type. And finally, it's compostable, it's flushable, and it doesn't have any harmful chemicals, but it might develop molds. Okay, so that's a big asterisk for that. So let me show you now to this side the different brands of the natural biodegradable flushable types of cat litter. Okay, the cheapest you can find here is Nova Pet. 24 liters is 800 pesos, which translates to 33 pesos per liter. So that's the cheapest I found. I found it on Lazada, just Lazada. And then the rest are pretty decent priced, so you can actually get them. And the most expensive, obviously, especially for cat owners in Metro Manila, this is something you can get from Bow and Wow. So if you go to Bow and Wow, you can find this brand, World's Best Cat Litter, and it's actually made from corn. Okay, and what is interesting about the World's Best Cat Litter is that it's pretty expensive. It roughly translates to 165 pesos per liter. That's how expensive it is. It's about how many times? About 7 times more expensive than the cheapest bentonite type. Okay, so if you're into that, so that's totally fine. And so it all boils down to very simple things. So when it comes to finally choosing the cat litter, I would suggest that maybe there are only 3 questions that for me are very important in deciding what to buy. Okay? Question number 1 is clumping or non-clumping. Okay? So that's totally for you to answer. The second one is scented or unscented. Okay? And finally, if you're eco-friendly, you can ask yourself also flushable or something that you can throw in the trash. So biodegradable or not. And that's something that will definitely make you slim down your choices. And then the rest will just will be a trial and error when it comes to the different brands. And I hope that you'll be able to make the best choice actually for your cat. But generally, those are the different things that you have to consider when it comes to cat litter. Okay? So I'm sorry this is a very long episode, but I did my research. I have a lot of stuff to share. And I hope that this is very helpful for all of you. And okay, so this is SirNicolay, and thank you for watching. I'll see you soon. Bye.